Hey guys, Panther0822 here. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I wanted to go back through the Hero Labs character generator. The last video I did was kind of a brief overview of the character generator. I wanted to go through and kind of do a couple of other videos. Some of them answering at least one or two questions in regards to the last video. And then I also wanted to try and actually kind of section out a few things so that if you're trying to do something specific in the character generator, you've got an idea of where to go. So I might do this in one video. I might do this in three. I'm not entirely positive, but we're going to go ahead and go through this. So I've got a tutorial character all set up, or at least the startings of it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to select it. Although before I do that, whenever you're going to create a new character, big red thing says create character. You hit that, type in character's name, and then you've got this drop down. This drop down is going to tell you what type of character it is that you're doing. So whether it's a player character, whether it's a DFPC, whether it's a basic monster, so on and so forth. So you've got these different options when you go through and create. So if you're a GM and you're wanting to use this and you want to build your monsters or your campaign, you have the full authority and ability to do so using this. So that is that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our tutorial character here real quick. So couple things that I may not have gone over very thoroughly in the last video, so we're going to try and hit these a little bit. So this top section here is all of your play stuff. So you've got your character where it shows you exactly just that. It gives you an overview of your character. So if you're playing on something like Roll20, you can do a split screen where your GM is on like a free membership where they don't have access to the character sheet option as part of the API settings. This is where you can keep your character pulled up so you can see what's going on with your character and all that stuff. The cool thing about this is that it's got a little dice, so you can hit the dice and it will go through and show it, and you hit roll and it gives you your roll right there. 5 plus 11 gives you a total of a 16. So, but depending on what the check is. In this case, it was a strength check that I just grabbed just because it was right there. At least I think it was strength. No, it's perception. Okay. So, a perception check. And again, you've got all of your stuff. So, you've got your strength checks. And again, you've got that here. So, I'll actually click on strength. Hit roll. 6 plus 1 is 7. So. All right. So, we're going to come back out here to the left-hand side. This section here is your navigation pane. It is where you've got all of your navigation for the most part, as far as what you're going to be doing. Okay, so you've got skills where it pulls you down to your skills. Combat brings you to your combat section of your sheet, and just straight down the list, it brings you to the specific section of your character sheet depending on what you click. Okay, so there's all that. The next section is your actual character. So we're going to go through and we're going to do kind of some generic stuff. So first thing is profile. This is where you're going to put in basically your basic stuff. Nothing terribly fancy. If you've got an image that you want to upload, you can upload a custom image, something like that. I've done that for a couple of my characters. It's really cool, really handy. So it's a really nice thing. You've got your hero's name, you've got your name, you've got your appear as, and then you've got your standard stuff that you would need when you start out. So you've got your alignment, you've got your deity, you've got your gender, and then you've got your age, weight, height, all that stuff here. And then here you've got your notes where you can throw in all of your notes and things along those lines. Okay. You've also got this little thing that's a pin. If you flip it, it actually pins it so that every time you click away from it, it doesn't keep disappearing, which is what I didn't have it pinned. So every time I went away from it, it pulled it out, which is cool. But when you're going through and you're trying to build your character, a little frustrating in that regard. So I've got all this. I'm going to go ahead and leave these settings because, again, this is just a brief tutorial. There's not a real reason for me to really fill any of this stuff in because I don't really need it for anything specific, other than the fact that I will change that. So I've got all that. Over here on the right-hand side, it tells you your validation and redemptions. So this is telling you all the stuff. Basically, this is your checklist. This is all the stuff that you need to get done. And what's really cool about all of this is it even tells you the numbers of 0 out of 2 as far as ancestry abilities and boosts and things like that. And then it's even got a little red warning down here that gives you some information. The really cool thing that I like about this character generator is that for anything that you have not completed, it has the yield sign. And 2, it typically is in yellow. Not always. Sometimes it is white with the yield sign. Sometimes it's red with the yield sign. But most of the time, it's usually yellow, telling you, hey, there's something here that you need to do. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to click Ancestry. So we're defaulted at human. As far as this goes, I can right-click it, or I can go to the 3 dots. I can choose Edit, and it just gives me just general information. Traits, nothing like that's filled in. And these are all racial abilities and things like that. Now, again, there are places where I can change things, like under this, I've got Kate, I've got Desmond, I've got male, so I'm all good there. So, ancestry. Okay. Now, what's really cool about this is, again, this tells you, hey, you've got some things in here. And then when you take a look at each of these little blocks, so ancestry, it tells you a little bit of a warning about some things. But once you click on it, it gives you more details, which is cool. You'd click the 3 dots. Again, edit gives you a little bit more information. So that's just kind of a brief overview. And again, same with background. It gives you some things as far as languages. Each of these is going to tell you, like this one tells you 0 out of 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the add button right here. Then we're going to find something. Now, if you come across something that's in red, it doesn't mean you can't add it. It is giving you a warning. And so when you click on it, it gives you a little thing up here that tells you why you shouldn't and or can't add it. And a lot of times when you go through and read these, you're going to read that it requires GM permission in order to actually get this particular bonus. So if it's in red, don't get into the mindset of, oh, I can't choose that. Look at it, see if it says requires GM approval, and then that way you can talk about it with your GM and go through it that way. So I should actually pick something, though. Again, it's up to you. Now, one of the things, somebody asked if you could do custom stuff, and one of the things I like about this particular this character generator is it does give you some custom options. So if you hit custom, initially it doesn't have anything here, so you just go add choice. And you close it. Oh, it didn't want to behave for me, so let's try that again. We're going to go here. We're going to add choice and close. And now it's got this additional lore and things, and then you click on it. And now what you can do is you can go in and you can type in any of the extra stuff that you want to do. So if I click on the additional lore, it gives me that. And I've got all that. All right, so now as far as background goes, custom background. This is where we can go through and choose things. You have to click, you have to add it so that it's in the list. You can't add it while you're in the other screen. Unfortunately, I wish you could. You can't. You have to choose it, and then you have to select it again. It's a double select process. A little annoying, but it is what it is. So in this particular case, so we've got all this, and then it's got skill stuff. So we can, like in this case, it says third trained skill, so we can choose that. And then we've got a custom name. And I'm actually just going to put, I know I can't spell where the darn, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to add that. And there we go. And now we've got our home region. So we need to go through, choose our home region. We're going to choose just the top one on the list. In no particular reason, just going to do that. Boom, we've got it. And then organizations, if you're part of an organization, choose your organization. Again, just because it's red does not mean you can't choose it. A lot of times, like I said before, it requires a GM approval. In this particular case, this one says alignment not permitted. So again, read your warnings, because they will tell you whether, why or why not something won't work. Sometimes it's, in this case, like an alignment issue, or in other cases, it requires GM permission. Or it maybe requires a dex or strength, or there is a reason. You just have to take a minute, read it, look at it, and see what it is so that you can actually choose it. Okay. So, and in this case, it's given us a big old issue because it really doesn't like our custom backgrounds. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to delete that out. There's no reason for it. So we'll find one that's a valid one. We'll say just Acolyte. Acolyte's kind of the general coded one. Anyways, so Acolyte gives you your stuff. Auto fills in things like your home region. Again, if we wanted to edit this, we can go through, we can edit it, change it. But if we really want to change our home region, what we really have to do is go through and check out other stuff. All right, so it's still whining at us about as far as ancestry stuff. So we've got ancestry feats right down here. So it's telling us we need to add, we've got one of two ancestry feats. We need to choose another one. We're going to say naturally ambitious. Just a good way to go. All right. So at this point, we have our stuff. We've got a natural skill here whining at us. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit this. We're going to edit. We're going to see sometimes they've got a thing where it's got a drop down where you've actually got to like select something. So, and again, you've got to read these messages, because these messages will actually tell you what's going on, why something isn't working, and what you need to do. So we've got all of that. Again, background. So click on this. It's giving us a little thing. The other thing that'll give you an indicator is you've got a little thing up here that's got a red thing. And when you click on it, it actually, gives you, talks about backgrounds, background ability boost, things like that. So there's some things that we've got to do in order to try and clear things out. So you've got to kind of go through your tabs a little bit. So this is the other area right here. It's this little kind of a book with a exclamation part. So there's that. All right. So we're going to take a look at here. How much experience did I give this character? This should be a first level character. Where we should be at. Okay. Well, it's whining at us as far as background stuff goes. So, all right, so let's go to ability scores. So the next section is, again, it's just pretty much a straight down ability. So what's awesome is right up here across the top, it'll actually show you exactly how many points you've got per column that you need to assign. Again, this is a tutorial character, so I'm just going to go down the first 4. I'm going to do the first 4 on on the ones that are like, hey. Oh. I'm a little overzealous there. There we go. This one has 2. So again, we'll just do those. This got 2. We'll do the ones that's got the asterisk in front of it, just because we've got those. All right. So we've got all of our ability scores taken care of. We've got all that done. So we're going to come to skills. And what's really cool is it tells you you've got 0 out of 2, 0 out of 1, 0 out of 6. So you've got all your skills that you can do. You've got to fill it out. Once you've gotten all of it done, it'll do the same thing like it did for the other skills. And then feats. Feats are exactly the same way. It tells us that we've got 0 out of 2. So we're going to do that. All right, now again, we've got some ones that are red. So let's click on one of them. And this says trained in crafting required. So in our skills, we've got to make sure that we're at least trained in crafting in order to actually utilize this. I can choose additional lures. I can also do a custom feat if I want to do a custom feat. So let's do a custom feat here quick. So I'm going to add a custom feat. I'm going to select it. And now what I can do is I can fill things in. So I would fill in the custom name, and I would fill in the description of that custom feat. Maybe there's a particular feat that you want that's not available in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or maybe there's a variant of a feat that isn't in 2nd Edition Pathfinder, or you need to get a bit more nitpicky with it. And so it gives you that option to go through and do that. However, what I am going to do is I'm going to delete this. Come on. Click the 3 dots. Delete. Delete. And I'm just going to grab 2 feats. We'll add some additional lore and assurance. What the hell? We'll just do this. All right, now the assurance is like, hey, wait a minute, I don't like this. And it's still saying it doesn't like it. So click on it. It's giving you a red text saying, hey, something's not right. So we come up here and assurance. You must choose an option. So we've clicked on it and we will say religion. Okay. Now that we've done that, it gets rid of it and we are fine. But we've got to choose 3 skill feats. So again, take a look at this one. This one requires us to be trained in crafting. I didn't choose anything as far as the skills go. So right now it's going to yell at me all day long until I fix that. So I might go back, but we're going to just kind of go with... it said 3, so we're going to go with assurance, combat climber, and experienced professional, just for the heck of it. All right, now it's not liking these, so we're going to click on it. Oh, got to specify it again. So in this case, we're going to say that. And there we go. It is all fixed. All right, let's see here. Additional lore. All right, so we're going to go back to our skills because it's whining at us. So we've got to choose. So we're going to say acrobatics. And we've done a lot of stuff with lore. So actually one of them said crafting, so we're gonna grab crafting for there. We've got one that we can assign here. We'll say thievery. And then we've got 6 here. So doesn't really matter. We'll say that. Say that. Intimidate. Medicine. Go religion. We've got one more. And we'll say there. Okay, so now that we've got one to do there, so we'll go right there. All right, so right down here, it gives us our skill increases. So we'll go ahead, we'll take a look at those. Skill increased, expert, 0 of 2, and then skills to master 0 of 1. So we've got 2 that we need to get to expert. I'm just gonna grab the first. I'm gonna grab that one. And that one. And then we'll say, oh, we're 1 over on one of them. So undo that. There we go. And then did say master is almost legendary. So what we're gonna do, that should do it right there. Oh, nope. It's being a little nitpicky on me, so. Skill increase, 0 of 1. The master. It is being really, really picky on me. Usually it's not. Athletics. Skill increase. Experts 3 of 2. Yeah, it keeps whining at me. So this is the main reason why it's actually important to take a look at these messages, is because these messages actually tell you what's going on, why it's going on. So in this particular case, we've got religion. Still giving me a thing of extra. So format. Yeah, it's just being a butt. Okay. Maybe it's being. There we go. Okay. It's just being a little bit of a butt. But that's the great thing about this program, is as you go through and use it and get more familiar with it, and just like this, where it's like, hey, okay, hit no, okay, then it gives you your error messages. It tells you right down here what's going on. And then again, over here on the right hand side, it shows you that stuff. All right, so we're going to come over here. One last thing is Barbarian. So there's some things that we need to do. We need to do our class feats. Let's make sure that we've got 4 that we need to choose. Again, you can do a custom feat if you want to, but we're just going to go a cute little vision. Raging intimidation. Again, it's giving you some, it gives us some red ones like, hey, we can't do this. So we're just going to highlight it, we're going to click it, and then it tells us right here that we can't select a multi-class check type, so it doesn't allow us. We're going to go fighter dedication. I think we have one more. So just sudden charge, just for the heck of it. And close. All right, so it's still giving us some things. So we've got to go here, just make sure we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we're 1 extra. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of one of these just because I can. I'm going to get rid of this one. Wait. All right. And then up here, it's giving me a thing saying that the dragon is strength. Okay. 3 of 4, so I was fine. So we're gonna add and close. Okay. So with this, I'm gonna change that to that. Barbarian instinct. Okay, so it's telling me that we've got to delete it, so we're gonna do that. Delete. Okay, but we still need to choose something. We'll choose that. That'll be fine. Okay. So there we go. And then we've got a blue thing. And right now over here, it tells us that the religion, more than one option, has been made for the skill trained acolyte and barbarian. So we can come back over here. And if we want, we can uncheck it. Doesn't really do much. Doesn't really matter. But we're going to leave it. Okay. Blue is not bad by any means. It gives us our message over here. And if you notice over here, for the most part, a lot of our stuff has disappeared, but we still have some things on our background that we need to do. We've got 0 out of 4 languages, so we need to grab 4 languages. Personally, my favorite one to grab is Draconic. I love using Draconic. It's one of my favorite languages. In this case, we'll also say Undercommon. And then again, we've got red languages like this. And it says your background doesn't allow this language as a starting language. So it's telling you, hey, I can't do this, and here's why. That looked interesting. Sure, why not? We'll grab it. And we'll grab that one. Okay, so we've got all those. We don't have anything else. And last but not least, Ancestry. It's saying, hey, we've got 0 out of 1 as far as this goes. So we're going to just hit the add. There's only one choice And that may simply be because I'm missing 3 of the source books. I've been keeping up with the books for the most part, but there are 3 new ones that are out that I don't have right now. So I may be limited in that arena because I just don't have the other 3 books, which is fine. All right, and there we go. So that is just a very, very fast rundown of the left-hand side. If you guys have any other questions, please throw them in the comments for me. If there's something that you think that I missed or that you'd like an individual video on, let me know, and I will do that. And until the next time, I'm Panther022. Peace out. I'll see you on the next upload.